You started too early.
I did. I didn't look up. Good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County show that's on in the morning. I'm either early or I'm late. That's just the way I am. So there you have it. I started early. All right. We have St. Johns County property appraiser Eddie Kramer in studio with us this morning. We will talk everything from trim notices to Florida's property tax proposals and tangible personal property. We'll get to all that and more, but first we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Award, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors. We have Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, B&S Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. You can find us on YouTube and help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers. You can follow us on Rumble. Facebook stars are amazing. We love those. And our app is back and better than ever in the Apple App Store. Download it today. All right. Good morning, guys.
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
It's hump day.
Hump day.
It is.
Hump day.
Turns out it is.
Yes. Hey, Blake, are you awake back there?
Yeah, yes, I am awake back here.
All right.
Look at you with your Stoidem picture.
He is conscious.
He is. So after the power situation yesterday, the TVs were on a different folder, and I almost put the old Stoidem logo up there.
Oh.
I had it up, and I paused, and I'm like, wait a second, that ain't right.
Yeah, we had a minor glitch.
It's like,
And the glitch begins with the guy with two thumbs.
who's got two thumbs, and he's a power glitch.
Yeah, I'm a power glitch. So, no, and I just want to say great shout out to FPL and all their amazing staff that they had to give us power where we were good to go this morning because I completely screwed up and everybody I talked to was like, yeah, it's on you. So no one gave me any sympathy at all.
No,
Shocker.
but they acted fast.
Yes, no, they really did. No, FPL gave me a lot of sympathy. I mean, all of my people around me.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're a knucklehead. So,
it happens.
it happens.
Nobody's perfect.
It happens.
It's your first time paying a power bill.
Yeah, no, it's never happened before. No, it's just, there's cams in
Yeah.
shared buildings, and I made the assumption and didn't ask. I made the assumption that the cam was part of the rent. It's not. It's not at all. And
Whoopsies.
Mike never said it was, and Pete never said it was, but I never asked.
Yes.
So
I never asked either.
And because we get all our bills online, I assumed it was going to Pete, and Pete never said anything. But Pete's not a guy who reads his emails regular.
Yeah.
So I could probably see it all sitting in Pete's.
Or the snail mail. I mean, there would be times when we would have 4 months of mail on the counter.
Yeah, that would make my brain explode. So Rebecca's the same way though. She'll go like unload her mailbox, and the mailbox gets so full they'll basically just take it to downtown.
And then you have to go get it from the
Yeah,
post office.
and I don't think she ever does. I don't know how that works.
When you have all your bills on auto pay, then you don't have to check the mailbox as often.
No, we check every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean I'm waiting for that publisher clearinghouse thing.
Do they still have that?
I don't know, but I didn't win it the first time.
Still
so
waiting.
maybe it's coming from 1991.
Was Ed McMahon showing up
No.
on people's doorsteps
No.
and checks?
That's another.
I have a
Mandela.
memory of Ed McMahon
Yeah.
in videos with checks. I swear that happened, and I think everyone's trying to gaslight me that was not a real thing.
Yeah. So no, it's Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was too, and then I just kind of saw that. Like I still believe the Monopoly guy has a monocle, but he doesn't.
And there's definitely a cornucopia on the fruit of the loom logo.
Yeah.
There's definitely a cornucopia because that's how I learned the word cornucopia.
There never was one.
There,
There never
You're
was
lying.
one.
Yeah,
I was there. I saw it.
Yeah.
I know it was there.
So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So I'm glad
Traumatic morning.
I'm glad that evening is over. I have bolt cutters just in case.
I don't know that that would help.
We were going to have the show. Oh no, what? You act like it's my first rodeo.
It would be my first rodeo with that. I'm glad I wasn't on that.
Is there something going on with you, Blake? Put it back on me real quick. Is there something going on with my beard?
No, not your beard. It's this.
Oh, the collar.
And it's
but I
pushing
feel
on
like
your
my
beard.
beard's crooked too. Oh
Yeah?
my gosh, what's going on here?
Lose power. Your beard's
Can't
crooked.
get my beard together.
Shave
Eddie,
it off.
aren't you glad you came in today?
It's a pleasure being here, Amanda and Troy. Thank you for having me. I think your beard is straight. It looks great.
All right. I might be a little self-conscious.
It's all right. We can make it through this together.
All right. So it's time for what?
Question of the day.
All right. Eddie's been up studying all night long for this question.
Yep. Pop
All right.
quiz.
All right. Here we go. In high school, what was one piece of fashion you had to have? Okay. And Eddie, I know you're going to go with the bell bottoms or something like that, but but don't worry, we won't give out your age. Bobby's out there in the audience. He's older than you. You're good. So Amanda, what was yours?
Mine was a vintage revival. And so
What the hell is that?
that's something that probably was from your childhood that got brought back during my high school years that we all thought was cool. And that was the candies.
Oh, those
Candies
shoes.
like slide heels where it looked like you're walking on wood and there's leather and it's like hammered in. I sent you a picture, Blake, so you can put it up because I'm going to do a terrible job explaining it. But they were like $100 to get candies.
Yeah.
And I didn't have $100 money for high heels to wear to high school. I didn't have that. And so I got the knockoff Walmart ones. But I loved them. I loved them with my whole heart. And I had them until they broke
candies.
after college. But
So-
yeah, the candy shoes were something that all of my friends wanted.
I mean, it looked like they were painful, like the feet.
They
just
were not
smushed together.
comfortable, but they were beautiful.
Like it looked like all the like, okay, we're gonna get 3-toe shoes with 5 toes getting in it.
When does a girl ever care whether it's comfortable if it's fashion?
Oh,
Right?
all right.
I mean,
If
it
only
was
girls
fashion,
were like that in
and I
life.
wanted it. I don't think you can define yourself as fashion.
Yeah, no, I am clearly not.
So yeah, that was my must-have item in high school, and I was really happy when I found a knockoff pair because Mom wouldn't let me order them from Nordstrom's for $100.
Joy's agreeing with you. The candy shoes were awesome. So,
They were awesome.
Blake, what about you? I mean, when I think of Blake Blevins, I think of fashion forward,
100%.
just always all about it.
Yeah.
Blake, what was one thing in high school that you felt like you had to have?
There really wasn't any desire at all.
Not a baseball hat.
See, I thought the sunglasses were.
Yeah.
You've always been into kind of the
Sore
the good-
subject on the
good-
sunglasses.
I know, but the warranty worked.
Okay.
So you
good.
got-
I did have to pay for the copay though. That's the thing. Though.
The copay for
There's a
your
copay on your sunglasses.
Yeah.
His mom's dog ate the
the
sunglasses.
deductible.
It cost $40.
Okay.
$40 deductible.
That was you got really nice sunglasses.
My
but
sunglasses are not even $40. I wouldn't have got
mine aren't either. I'm a and here's the
Yeah.
problem because I played for Oakley for like 4 years.
Okay.
And I had every possible whenever they came out with
Mm-hmm.
something new, I had the new Oakleys and stuff like that, and I didn't have to pay a dime.
Yeah.
All right, and those were $100-$200 glasses.
Yeah.
Now I have to buy them. No, I don't.
They're expensive.
I am. Hey, that one. You know how they give like the $3 glasses at like the giveaways, and it has like the radio station
Yeah.
on it. I'll wear those all day long, and I can't lose those. All right.
get
But
those in the merch
if I
store.
get like if I get the rich ones, I lose them in like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the worst about it.
Yeah.
My sunglasses are like 2 years old and I got them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not
and that's
special.
mine are from Amazon also.
Yeah.
Eddie, also looking very fashionable today.
Thank you.
You know, what in high school was one of the things like everyone had to have?
Oh, that's easy. It was Converse All-Star tennis shoes, white canvas.
Oh yeah,
Had to have
Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, I called them Chuck Taylors now. Then we just called them Converse All-Stars.
Yeah.
Right, so low
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah, my mom.
Chuck Taylors.
The low tops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Had to be
so
low tops.
My mom threw mine out 3 times. She's like they're disgusting, and I so, but I mean I love. There's not a better shoe out there.
Oh, they were
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
There's not a better shoe out there. So I like that one. Mine was members only.
Okay.
All right, I had to say, but my parents weren't going to buy me members only.
Yeah. You didn't have Candy's money either.
And I can tell you, I had to save up for it, and I'm pretty sure I was the last member to get one.
All right.
So, and I had two. I had a gray one, and those work. I'm not the bust on member, but they are super comfortable. They look very Miami Vices now, if that's a word. But I had a burgundy one and I had a gray one.
Are these coats? I don't even know.
Yeah, they're jackets.
Okay, like a
Members
blazer
only
kind of
jackets.
deal?
No,
Right.
they're kind of like lightweight jackets.
Okay.
And they had like a little button that came across like the neck right here.
Oh, those. Okay, yeah. I know
Said
those.
members only.
Oh,
Yeah.
sexy.
Mine might have said Fembers.
That's right.
One of those fake,
Membos.
I was one of those fake members.
That's right. I was a fake Candies girl, so it's all right.
Yeah.
We can all get through this
Yeah.
together. Yeah, I remember those jackets.
Yeah. No. Members only. And I don't think it made my last move, but that members only jacket from 1984
Yeah.
held on strong for a long
Wow.
time. So I think it when we moved Blake from Drake Road to out on Old Moultrie, I think that's when I finally threw out my members only jacket. That would have been like 2006.
That's tough, right?
Yeah.
So now my daughter is looking through old pictures of me in high school and college, and she's my size, so she rates my closet all the time. And she'll be like, "Where's that outfit? I need that." It got a hole in it. I had to throw it away. Like I liked it too.
It got several holes in it.
That is last century. Like literally, it's from the last century.
Yeah, it starts with 19.
I can't promise that I still have it.
I still have clothes from,
Me too.
probably the 1990s. I don't think I have anything from the 80s.
Yeah.
So,
I think I have some things from the late 1990s still
yeah. So,
that, I have for old time's sake. I have my Letterman's jacket from high school. Still have that.
yeah, I have that too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Have we
All
done
right,
Bill?
now it's time for a quick check of the weather.
Oh, it's going to be actually a good day.
Good day.
It's not bad. It's going to be in the high 80s. Of course, it's going to feel like 106, which is almost a cold front.
Almost. For August.
But I mean, it's chance of rain's only about 15%,
Nice.
which is it's a good day. So
Right on.
everybody enjoy your hump day.
Hump day. That quick check of the weather brought to you by Ben 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets, Ben 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street. With over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's a perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. Open daily 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, "I'll have what Irving's having." Ben 39, your taste to discover. All right, buckle up, baby. It's the Hit the Blake's traffic report. Looks good.
Traffic's looking fine.
All right.
Sparsely populated traffic today.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like that.
Indeed.
All right, that Hit the Blake's traffic report brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenience stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. All right, enough with the shenanigans. We have Eddie Kramer here. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing wonderful, Eddie, and it's good. This is the first time you've actually been in with us.
First time in a while, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time on the morning show ever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think you did the radio show with Mike and I one time.
I did.
And he
Yeah.
did the evening show with us.
Oh, did you?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
So, so you've had some of the torture, but never the morning torture.
Actually, I think I found out on the evening show, if I remember, that Amanda and I went to the same college or university or same
Maybe.
area. Long time ago. She
Yeah.
went way before I did, obviously.
Obviously,
clearly.
obviously, yeah. I mean,
100%.
obviously. So, Eddie, you and I have known each other a long time. I met you when you were in the banking industry before you became the property appraiser. You had a very successful career in banking, and you're in a political position now. So you got to tell me what made you think, oh, okay, I'm going to go into a political position and a government position from banking. I mean, you're a numbers guy, so it kind of makes sense with the position you went after, but kind of explain like that conversation with the family. Hey, I'm going to do this.
Well, I was a banker for 35 years, right? And 35 years in banking is a long time, especially after 2008 through 2012. Mm-hmm. And so after that, through that period of time, and we actually sold Prosperity Bank to Ameris Bank. And I had a 3-year non-compete, and actually it was ending up, I was the Southeastern Regional President for Ameris, but I wanted to do something different. Mm-hmm. And I'd always been very keenly interested in politics and government, even in college. I grew up in the Panhandle, and I will say something that's probably sacrilege, but in college I was the president of the Young Democrats. Oh. But in the Panhandle of Florida, Democrats were,
that's the way it was.
Highly conservative, and I think they were called
Blue Dogs.
Blue Dogs.
We were Blue Dogs.
Yeah, the times of Dempsey Barron and Bob Sykes, and it was conservative. So I've always had an interest. So when we sold the bank, I was still young, and I felt like I wanted to do something else. I wanted to be in St. Johns County. I've always believed that there's no reason government cannot operate as efficiently as a private sector. There's just no reason. And, I thought my skills translated to property appraiser's office because in banking, obviously lending, values and that sort of thing are part of it. And so it seemed interesting. And I said, I'd like to do that. I'd like to stay here for the rest of my life. And I think this would be a good way to do this.
All right. Yeah. When you did your first, are you on your third term?
I'm in my third term, yeah. First year, third term.
Third term. When you did the first one, did you run unopposed then? Because you've run unopposed, I think, the last couple times.
I was unopposed the first term. Initially, I had opposition, but the opposition left the race before qualifying. Okay. So I've been very fortunate to be unopposed 2 times.
Well, you keep doing a great job like you're doing. It's going to... There's we're not looking at that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, and property appraiser, constitutional officers, we're more ministerial. We're carrying out duties defined by the Constitution. Mm-hmm. And while, yes, it's political, and yes, you have to run, but the way we do our job should be apolitical, right? Mm-hmm. Because valuation, exemption, property taxes, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, it doesn't matter. We all have to participate in that system, so it should be as apolitical as possible.
All right. And I got a lot of questions because I think the trim statements come out this next month, right?
Actually this week.
They come out this week.
This Friday,
okay.
August 15th, okay. We'll mail trim notices. Trim notices, that's the most important document a property owner will get on their property in relation to property taxes. So they go in the mail Friday, August 15th, and they'll be available on our website the same day. So if you are not going to the mailbox on Saturday morning, you can look at the website on Friday and see your trim notice.
And the trim notice kind of tells you it's a projection of next year and where you're at this year. You kind of don't really know what the millage is set at from the Board of County Commissioners until September. So it is a projection. It's not a hard number. And I think a lot of people, when they get the trim notice, think, oh, that's exactly what's going to be. But it is a projection. Have there been challenging years of making that projection? It sounds like we're staying fairly flat this go round. But have there been other years where it's a little harder for you in your time as property appraisers?
Not particularly, because trim stands for truth in millage, which was the statutes that put that in place. And the trim is actually a notice of proposed taxes. Mm-hmm. So what we do, and our job is to create the tax roll for the taxing authorities. We have basically finished that by June 1st, and it goes into the Department of Revenue for review, evaluation, and approval. Mm-hmm. It's usually approved by the end of June. And so the values are set, the exemptions are set. Mm-hmm. The taxing authorities approve their proposed millage. In my time in the office, that proposed millage has not changed between proposal and final millage. So if it changes, the property tax bill could be slightly different. But when you're talking about changing, fractions or mills, it wouldn't be a significant difference. The biggest challenge we get a lot of time is that when the tax bill comes, the tax bill includes non-ad valorem charges like garbage, solid waste, recycle, CDD fees. Those are not on the trim notice because they are not ad valorem or according to value. So that's sometimes a challenge when the person actually gets the bill.
And
They say, wait, it's $3,000 more than my trim. Well, look at the bottom
details.
line. Yeah, you've got garbage, solid waste, recycle, and, oh, by the way, you have a CDD fee, which is added to there. But generally, the taxing authorities are pretty consistent. Once they set the millages or proposed millages, they've generally stayed the same.
And ad valorem, for people that aren't aware of it, that is what is associated with your property taxes. You set the value of the property, and then the millage kind of does its own thing.
Right.
What if someone wants to challenge what your property appraiser? Is there a process of how to do that? Like you say their house is worth $500,000, and they're like, wait, my house is only worth $300,000. Is there a process of how to possibly do that? And how does that look through your office?
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually two ways you can challenge that. First of all, through the year, from January 1st to June 1st, we are in a working tax roll. So we are doing the valuation of properties, and the only thing our office does is just market value. Right, every year. Assessed value and taxable value are calculated based on exemptions and caps. So we choose to publish our working tax roll live on our website. So any day during that period, if you go to our website and you look, you're going to see where we're working on your value. During that period of time, you can call our office and say, hey, I think you've got this wrong. There's something about my house you don't know, and we're going to send an appraiser out to look at it then. The most important thing in my mind about the trim notice is it triggers the Florida Taxpayer Bill of Rights. So if you haven't looked at the website through that period of time, when trim is mailed August 15th, it triggers a 25-day period. And in that 25-day period, you can reach out and request a conference with the property appraiser's office. Now, again, you can do that anytime during the year with us, but during that 25-day period, we sit down with you, our appraiser sit down with you, or it could be an exemption as well. And if we can't come to an agreement, then you have the right, and we encourage you to file a petition with the Value Adjustment Board. And the Value Adjustment Board is an independent board. They're independent of our office, and it's made up of, I think, 2 county commissioners, a school board member, and 2 citizens members. And then what happens then, if it goes to a Value Adjustment Board hearing, they're magistrates, independent magistrates. One is an appraiser, who's a value magistrate. The other is an attorney, who is an exemption and classified use magistrate. So you have the right to file that petition. You are scheduled a hearing date, and you appear before the magistrate with our office, and we present to the magistrate why we think we're right, and you present to the magistrate why you think you're right. The magistrate decides, and life goes on. If the magistrate decides in your favor, we correct the roll and we move on. So that's the important part of trim. So the only time that you can get that independent review is if you file during that 25-day period.
Okay.
St. Johns County's went through a tremendous amount of growth since you've been in your position. How do you keep up with that growth? You have homes that are not actually don't have people living in them, and how do you manage that growth along with the ebbs and flows of the market? I mean, to me, it sounds like just an absolute roller coaster where you guys are going through with that. I mean, there has to be a margin of error in where you're at with your just market evaluation.
Yeah, an appraisal, we always said in the banking business, appraisal is an opinion of value. And in mass appraisal, what we do for the tax roll, it is still, it's an opinion of value, but it's statistically driven. We, for our processes, we have mass amounts of data that we use to evaluate or create a value or an approximation of value for tax purposes. Managing the growth, we've been able to improve on processes. There's some very logical processes in place. Our office is the ownership official ownership recorder of the county. So every time something's filed in the clerk of the court's office that affects ownership, deeds, marriages, divorces, deaths, plats, they come to us. We record it, we map it, we assign a tax ID to it. So it's traceable since inception. So we identify the properties that way. Every sale that occurs comes through our office. We qualify that sale or disqualify that sale and use that data for our valuation. Any ordinances and that sort of thing. So there's a logical process that we keep up with the growth. Permits. If you pull a permit for a new home, if you pull a permit for a pool, that comes to us. We log that in and get it onto the tax roll. New subdivision plats. So keeping up with the growth is just managing that information that comes to us. And we've been really effective in using technology as opposed to adding people to manage that. We use high-resolution aerial photography. We use high-resolution street-level imagery. Our interface to the clerk's office and the building department is electronic, so we get that all over through PDF files, et cetera. As it relates to valuation, Florida is known as a market value state, so we're required by statute to value every property at just market value as of January 1st of the tax year. Just market value is based on sales. And in our county, we are so fortunate. From a value standpoint, we have a lot of sales. We process, depending on the year, between 12,000 and 16,000 sales of residential property per year. So the sales are telling us approximations of value. And even more specific, if it's in a particular neighborhood, if it has a pool, if it has 4 bedrooms as opposed to 3, the sales data is telling us that. So that data is put into the mass appraisal system and modeled down till we can value a bedroom, a bathroom, a pool, et cetera. So, while the just market value fluctuates every year, and it is still an approximation, we've generally been able to be pretty close into what you would find if you went out and had an independent appraiser appraise your property. Of course, for tax purposes, to me and you, it's always too high.
Of course.
When I get ready to sell it, it's always too low, and I get that, right? Because I pay taxes here too, so I understand that.
Okay, I'm going to put on my real estate hat here a little bit because this has happened to me a couple times with appraisals. I have a buyer who wants to buy this house. The seller has made an improvement that has not been permitted, like they've enclosed or added on something, and it's not been permitted. And all of a sudden now the appraisal that you have is completely different than now the square footage that we. How do you manage that when those type of situations? Because it's kind of it's really a pain for the realtor side when the other side doesn't disclose that to you, and now your appraisal is way low, and now you have financing issues. But how does it affect you when that happens? I know it's a real pain for the real estate side.
Well, if an improvement is added that's not permitted, we are generally unable to pick that up. That can have a negative impact on the taxpayer because of the caps, right? So if you're homesteaded and that hasn't been added into your value, you may be losing some Save Our Homes portability on that. We sometimes can find that because of change detection system we use. So we use change detection software that uses our aerial photography and overlays the sketches. So every property in the county, when we add it to the tax roll, we sketch it. So we draw out the walls. If you go to our website, you'll see like a floor plan. So each year we use our aerial photography, our sketches, and our maps, and we overlay that. So if square footage has been added that's outside of a tolerance, then the appraiser is going to check that property. If something's been added, then we're going to add it to the tax roll. We also use that because many times we have somebody who demolishes something, and we want to take that off the tax roll. Now, you should get a demolition permit, but sometimes you don't, and so we can catch that and get that off the tax roll. But generally, unless it's added, rooftop area or like a paved area, if you didn't permit it, we're not going to get it. On the sale, either the buyer, the seller, or the realtor is going to reach out to us. And at that point, we will go out, inspect, and add it to the roll.
All right, we're going to do our Gas Buddy gas report, and we're going to be right back with you, Eddie. Appreciate it. You get to take a breath now.
All right, that Gas Buddy gas report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got the Sunoco at $21.99 North Ponce de Leon Boulevard at $2.84. Shell at 146 King Street's at $289. Owens on South Ponce is at $289. Sunoco on South Ponce is at $289. The Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard's at $289. Shell on North Ponce de Leon Boulevard's at $295. Circle K on 207's at $305. The Gate on Mizell Road is at $319. The Gate at US 1 North is at $319, and so is the Circle K on US 1 North, still $319. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. We've got live music today. Smokin' Joe Showers at Tradewinds Lounge at 1 o'clock. Chase Fourrakers at Pierre's Pub at 1 o'clock. Reggie Starrett's at Milltop Tavern at 4:30. Carry the Day is at Guy Harvey Resort at 5 o'clock. Carpetbaggers are at Hurricane Grill and Wings at 5 o'clock. Benny Jacobs is at the Tides Oyster Company and Grill at 5 o'clock. Mark Hart is at Tradewinds Lounge at 5 o'clock. Dewey Valles at Ann O'Malley's Deli and Pub at 6 o'clock. And Zach Hayward is at Salt Life Food Shack at 6 o'clock. That music report is brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction. Voted Best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, Fidus installs the GAF Lifetime Roofing System, an expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather. From emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters, Fidus delivers quality, durability, and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, call 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. All right, back to it.
All right. We have Eddie Kramer, property appraiser, with us, and you able to catch your breath. Now I'm going to hit you with the fun stuff. It's not that much fun.
It's all fun.
Yeah. Two big things that's always out there is homestead exemption. When can people apply for that homestead exemption? And now you can do it online, correct?
Correct.
And what does homestead exemption do for you?
So I'm glad you went in that direction. Homestead exemption is the most important exemption to taxation you can get in Florida. One, it's very generous at a $50,000 reduction to your assessed value. Second, it puts the 3% cap on your assessed value. Nice. And a lot of people don't really appreciate that. It's not just a 3% cap. It's the lesser of 3% or the increase in the consumer price index. Okay. And in my 9 years, only one time has the 3% actually applied. Other times, the other 8 years, the consumer price index was less than 3%. And okay. Many years it was like 1.25 and 1.3. So that's the first part. It's going to reduce your taxes and save you money. Mm-hmm. To qualify for homestead exemption, you have to own the property as of January 1st. It has to be your primary residence, and you can't receive any residency-based tax benefit anywhere else in the United States. Okay. You can apply in our office or you can apply online. We average about 12,000 new homestead exemption applications each year in the county. About 65% of those come in online. Okay. Which is a great benefit to the taxpayer and also to our office. Statutorily, the deadline to apply for homestead exemption is March 1st. Okay. The statute goes on to say that the property appraiser may accept late file applications for good cause. So in my opinion, good cause is you qualified for it January 1st, but you didn't get in by March 1st and apply. So you have in our office till the end of trim, which is 25 days from the mailing. This year it's September 9th. So if you get into our office or get online before September 9th, then if you qualified, we're going to get you that exemption for this year. If you didn't qualify, we'll get it for you next year if you qualify. Okay. So that's why the trim period is also so important. You look at that trim notice and you say, oh man, I qualify for homestead, but I didn't apply. We can still get that for you. Okay. After September 9th, I can't. I'm statutorily prohibited. If I approved it and added to the tax roll, the Department of Revenue would send it back to me and say, no, you can't do that. Okay. So that's another reason trim's so important. The other really important thing about homestead is Florida has other exemptions. They have low-income senior exemptions, civilian disability exemptions, veterans exemptions. You have to have homestead to get those. So I call homestead the gateway exemption to get to the others.
how would you research whether someone has one of those exemptions?
Like a veteran's exemption, or when someone applies for homestead, our application, we ask questions, right? Were you in the military? Were you a veteran? Do you have any sort of disability? Or are you a senior? And so to get a senior exemption, it's income based. And so we will get a tax return. The veterans exemptions, we rely on the Veterans Administration. So if you qualify for a veterans exemption, you have a letter from the VA that has a rating, and we use that letter to apply the exemption. If you know you have a rating and you don't have the letter, we work very well with the local Veterans
Council
office. They do a great job. We'll just reach out to them, and usually the same day, they'll have the rating letter back to us, and we'll apply that exemption.
and that the veterans letter is important in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A lot of
Because,
different
at Veterans
things,
Village, that's our like go-to on where it's at. All right, so there's been a lot of scuttlebutt coming out of Tallahassee. DeSantis is floating around. Okay, we're going to do away with property taxes and some of those things. I'm not really see how it helps people like Blake, who doesn't have a house yet, because it's going to have to increase sales tax. I mean, it's going to have to make sales tax go up to keep our quality of life where it needs to be. It's almost a forced fair tax situation. So I'm kind of caught in the middle, because as somebody who pays a lot of property taxes, it can be helpful to me, but it also could hurt the next generation. Is there anything your office, because you got to keep your finger on that pulse quite a bit. Is there anything in your office that you're doing just to kind of keep aware of where you're at and what's happening coming out of Tallahassee?
Yeah, we actively monitor legislation, proposed legislation, potential legislation. In addition, our Association of Property Appraisers lobby for certain regulation or statutory changes. We also do our best to educate legislators on the impact of something that's proposed. So yes, we monitor it, because the first thing we would have to do if there's a change, and we have to do, if there's a change in exemption, anything like that, or an additional exemption, we have to reprogram our systems to accommodate that. And we have to do that. We have about a 9-month window to do that, because if they pass it in March, if it's effective the same year, then we have to get really busy on that. So we do monitor that. Property taxes in Florida they're constitutional, so any change has to go on the ballot. But there also has not been any significant changes in property taxation since 2002. But values in Florida have gone up dramatically since 2002. So are we probably due for some reform to property taxes? Absolutely. But I think one thing we all have to keep in mind is that there's three things about property taxes and that we all need to keep in mind. First of all, it's the most transparent tax we pay. Okay? You can see it anytime on the website. You can go on the website and estimate it. You get a trim notice. You get a time to appeal. You get a tax bill, right? So it's very transparent, as opposed to a sales tax, which is not transparent. How much sales tax did you pay last year? I have no idea. I don't even know how much I paid yesterday. So it's not transparent. The second thing about property taxation, it's maybe the only form of taxation that someone cannot avoid. Right? The third thing is
people try.
They try, but eventually, the tax collector is going to sell a deed.
Then their house is on the court.
Exactly. So it's very difficult to evade. And the last thing, and to me is even more important, because I'm one who believes we are governed better when we're governed locally, is that property taxes are local, right? So if we are uncomfortable with taxation locally, we get to go to the ballot every 2 years. If you move that taxation to, say, sales tax base or something else, that's not necessarily local. That ends up in Tallahassee unless it's a local option. And I just think everybody, as we have this discussion, should think that through.
No, and I feel this. I feel the exact same way with that. I want us to have control of our education. I want us to have control of our taxation. I want us to have control of our spending. That's we really don't have a tax problem. We have a spending problem. And that's one of the things that we have to really keep a hold of. All right, tangible tax, doesn't fall under you, does it?
Absolutely.
It does fall under you.
Tangible
Okay,
personal property tax.
Explain tangible tax, because I think that's one of the more confusing
Very.
taxes, especially for new business owners, is tangible tax. And explain what that is and how that valuation comes to be.
So our office appraises all real property in the county every year. We do that based on sales market cost. We also appraise all tangible personal property tax. That's done by a tax return. So if you open a business or you have a business in St. Johns County, you are required to file a tangible personal property tax return. And that is a tax on your business assets, your furniture, your fixtures, your machinery for production, your computers, your telephone system, and you fill out a tangible personal property tax return, and you file that with the office. That's every business that gets a business license is required to file that. Now, there is a $25,000 exemption. So assets up to $25,000 are not taxable. Many small businesses don't hit that threshold. But it's very important for the small businesses to know you have to file one time to get the exemption. So if you don't file, we're required to estimate your assets and you'll get a tax bill. But if you file and you're below $25,000, we exempt you and you don't file again. So that's very important. Those are due by April 1st. You can do that online as well, or you can mail it to the office, either way. But it's equally as important because by the same token, if you don't file, we're going to estimate and send you a trim notice. The tax collector is going to send you a tax bill. And if you don't pay, they're not going to sell a deed on your property, but the tax collector is going to send an agent out to get your property. So it's the same thing. That's the tangible personal property tax is misunderstood. And it is just as important to a business. Our office is proactive. We mail cards every year. We get all the business license from the tax collector. If we don't get a tax return, our tangible staff goes into the field, knocks on the door, say, hey, you've got to file this return. Here's the return. You're probably going to be exempt, because you're a lawn service business or something like that. But it's very important that you file it.
And the reason I ask that is as if there's landlords out there watching, the people that are renting from you, if they're not paying their tangible taxes, the tax collector can actually put a lien on that property, even if they've moved out, and that property owner is going to have to pay for the business if they did not get paid. Before you're able to rent it again to the next person, you're going to have to pay that tangible tax. So it's one of those things that's out there that people, unless you're actually in business, a lot of people that sign the front of checks should know about tangible taxes.
Absolutely. And even if you have a short-term rental, right, you have to file a tangible personal property tax return, right? So usually your furniture is less than $25,000, so you're going to be exempt and you don't have to file again, but you have to file that first time. And that's really important. The tangible personal property tax it's worthy of discussion because you pay sales tax when you buy the equipment. Yep. You're paying property tax on your facility, right? And you're paying income tax on your revenue. But then you're paying taxes again every year on what you've already paid sales tax on. So, you could easily say, and this is where I get to the property tax reform, this whole one size fits all, doesn't really work. Because you could say eliminate tangible personal property tax. In St. Johns County, it has little or no impact because of the sheer size of our tax roll. In Putnam County, the story is totally different because you have the paper mill, the power plant. They're the largest taxpayer, and it is on tangible personal property. So there is no one size fits all to this taxations, eliminate or change or whatever.
Eddie, we've taken up a lot of your time. Anything you want to get out there? You got trims coming out this week, which is a huge deal for you. Anything you want to get out there to the public that we haven't talked about yet?
No, the most important thing is the trim. You're going to get your trim notice. There's going to be information in the trim notice about the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. There's going to be contact information in that trim notice. Look at that trim notice. If you have any questions, call our office. We're open 8:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, 827-5500, or you can dial 827-5520. That's my phone. We will return your phone call. We return all phone calls every business day. We return all our emails the same day. Please, if you have questions, don't wait till the end of trim. If there's an exemption you didn't get, let us know so we can get it for you. If you think your value is wrong, let us know so we can have an appraiser take a look at that. Communicate with our office. There's no reason not to make sure that we're in agreement and that you're getting everything you're entitled to.
I
Excellent.
have a quick question on if you want to contest the evaluation and you want to go through that hearing process. What's the success rate of that?
Interestingly enough, and I'll start without the success rate. So we assess, this year we'll assess about 185,000 parcels. Last year it was 170 something thousand parcels.
Okay.
We had less than 50 petitions that actually went to VAB.
Okay.
That are individual taxpayers. Now, there are tax agents that are a different story, agents that file blanket petitions, et cetera.
All right.
And honestly, the success rate is not very high for the taxpayer,
Okay.
but the reason is if the taxpayer's right, we're never going to go to VAB. I was talking to my appraisal staff this week about, how confident are you in your numbers? And he said, if I'm not confident with my value, I'm not going to VAB. And that's exactly what I want to hear from that. If it's an exemption issue, that's statutory. We don't have a lot of room if you didn't qualify.
Okay.
So, generally we have taken care of it before you would have to go to VAB.
Okay.
Excellent.
My job is, if you qualify for an exemption, to give it to you. And if you don't, to make sure you don't get it.
You don't get a bonus for denying exemptions.
We don't get a bonus. We don't get a bonus for assessment. And that's a good point. If I could just say quickly, property appraisers are independent. We have no oversight from any taxing authority. Our budgets are approved by the Florida Department of Revenue. So there's no influence locally over us performing our job. And that's very important to know. We are actually the advocate for the property owner in the county. I am the advocate for the property owner for their valuation to make sure they pay no more, no less than they should, but that they get any exemption or relief from property taxation that they're entitled to.
Okay.
Blake, did you see any questions online that we possibly missed?
I did not see any questions in the comments today, but
All right.
but do thank you though.
I hit him with a lot of them. So, Eddie, again, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
I appreciate it.
We got some more stuff we got to do, and
Yep.
and then we'll let you escape.
All right. Awesome.
Troy, how do you want to check the comments today?
On this Wednesday, I will work my way through the wickedly wild, wonderful world of waking watchers.
That wild work is brought to you by BNS Signs.
I got no wow.
Wow, that was impressive.
I deserved a wow.
You did. Good job.
Oh,
Have a Starburst.
yeah. Thank you.
Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs and visit bnssigns.com, because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also brought to you by St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building includes free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience and community matters.
Were you trying to change his phone number?
9092. 823-9092.
That's the good Troy.
It is the good Troy.
Right,
Sorry,
and,
Troy.
and you need to give Eddie. He is
you.
Starburst
I know.
worthy with
Thank
that
you.
That was
interview.
excellent.
He crushed every question. All right, in the comments, Wawa is at $3.19. Costco is at $2.59. All right, I got to report that Bucky's ethanol is at $3.49.
Nice.
Ethanol is not terrible during the warmer months.
During the warmer months.
Okay.
It's bad during the winter months?
During the winter months,
Okay.
it can, during cold weather, it burns not really as well as it should for your vehicle.
All right.
So if you're going to use ethanol, use it during the warmer months.
Good to know, because I
Okay.
just try to avoid it.
Okay. All right. And evidently you have polka dots on. I have, and there's a question whether or not I'm wearing polka dots. It has little diamonds on it. So it's kind of polka dotty.
Yeah.
But it's not really polka
Gives a
dotty.
polka dot effect.
All right. And I saw something about the Android on in the app. And Blake, I think we probably need to check on that today. We've been waiting for approval from Android to get into their app store.
Yeah,
So-
it's always been a problem since Pete tried to upload as well. So I know.
And Android people are cat lovers.
Yes, but however, for Android apps though, I will say if you can still experience the app right now, you just have to go to d904now.goodbarber.app.
Wow, that's so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
I'll definitely make sure to put it in the comments as well.
Good barber.
Good barber. I'm
'Cause
not,
of course.
Yeah, because me and Pete needed a good barber.
Of course, it's very classic. Do we have a Stordom stat today?
All right. Stordom stat. 1521. Couple weeks
I remember
back.
it like it was yesterday.
Couple weeks back. This is the day the Aztecs fell to Cortez. The Aztecs, they were doing so well until the Spanish got here.
Yeah.
They were just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
And then the Spanish brought all that European disease with them.
And explosives.
And explosives.
Yeah.
But I think it was the disease that
Yeah.
that affected them more.
Yeah.
But today is the day the capital of the Aztecs fell to Cortez.
That's wild.
1521.
1521.
Yeah.
What was their calendar ended in 2012?
2012.
Okay.
So
All right.
I think it ended in 1521.
Yeah, honestly. Stop getting updated at that point.
I mean, San Diego State College is still the Aztecs, but I think that's the only Aztecs that are really out there anymore.
Yeah. Their ruins are really cool if you go to Mexico.
Yeah. And I don't think, there's an interesting, I might bring it up on Bollocks tonight. I don't think the Aztecs called themselves the Aztecs. I mean, they didn't call themselves that, but I don't think they were called that until later on. And it was something with like the Mexicana, and it got confusing, so they changed for the history books, they changed what they were
post hoc
actually called.
rebrand?
Yeah. It was a rebrand on the entire culture.
I mean, they can't argue at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're gone.
Too soon?
Yeah.
My bad. That was insensitive. I apologize. Yeah. That's Stordom Stop, brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today. Plugs, Troy.
Well, Bobby just asked, did the Aztecs have human sacrifice? Are you volunteering, Bobby?
Yes, they did.
No, I believe they did.
Yeah, they did.
I think it was mostly goats, but yeah.
There's cenotes where there's just bodies in Mexico because if it wasn't raining, people just went in.
They just threw people over the ledge.
Big ball pits. And the winner was the one that was sacrificed because they wanted to send their best to the gods. And it was a live sacrifice.
I'd have been safe.
I know.
Only sending their best.
I am proudly mediocre.
I'm mid-tech. I'm so mid.
Mid, baby. Do you have any plugs for us, Blake?
No plugs today, but just enjoy Bollocks tonight.
Yeah,
right.
we got Bollocks tonight. And I got to give a shout out to FPL for allowing us to have the show this morning.
And
we love
pay
you,
your
FPL.
electric bill.
And pay your electric bill. And why is Ricky, my assistant, calling me knowing I'm on air?
Important life lessons. Pay your electric bill and know your boss's schedule.
He hung up quickly. He's like, oh.
Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to YouTube and Rumble. Bollocks tonight. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eddie.
Pay your
Thanks,
bills.
Thank y'all.